Have you ever wondered why, night after night, you find yourself wide awake in those quiet hours between 3 and 5 in the morning, when the whole world seems to be sleeping peacefully? Picture this. You're lying there in the darkness, maybe needing to use the bathroom, feeling slightly frustrated that your sleep has been interrupted again. You might blame it on getting older, on medications, or simply on the changes that come with time. But what if I told you that millions of people your age are experiencing this exact same thing at this exact same time? And it's not just coincidence. What if this isn't your body failing you, but actually calling you towards something much more profound? There's a truth that our modern world has forgotten, something that ancient wisdom has known for thousands of years. Those precious hours when you're awake while others sleep aren't a burden or a sign that something is wrong with you. They're actually a gift, a gentle invitation from something far greater than ourselves. Tonight, I'm going to share with you why these early morning awakenings might be the most important moments of your entire day, and how understanding their true meaning can transform not just your sleep, but your entire sense of purpose and peace. You're about to discover that what you've been seeing as a problem is actually a divine appointment waiting for you to answer. Number 1. Brahma Muhurta and the science of energy. Right now, as you're listening to this, there's something happening in your body that you've never fully understood. That restless stirring that pulls you from sleep in those early morning hours isn't your bladder betraying you or your body aging poorly. It's actually responding to the most powerful energy wave that sweeps across our planet every single day. Think about those moments when you've been lying there at 3:30 in the morning, feeling almost frustrated with yourself. You might have thought, why can't I just sleep through the night like I used to? But what if I told you that in that exact moment, you're being touched by what ancient wisdom calls Brahma Muhurta, the hour of the divine? Between 3 and 5 a.m., cosmic energy reaches its absolute peak. It's like the universe is broadcasting on its clearest frequency, and somehow, your soul is tuned in to receive it. This isn't just spiritual talk. This is energy science that our ancestors understood thousands of years ago. During these precious hours, the electromagnetic field of the Earth shifts. The atmosphere becomes charged with a different kind of power. It's the same reason why the most profound meditation happens at dawn, why prayers seem to have more weight, why even your thoughts feel clearer and more focused. Your body isn't waking you up by accident. It's responding to this cosmic call because something within you recognizes that this is your time. This is when the spiritual part of you, the part that's been waiting patiently beneath all the daily concerns and worries, finally gets a chance to breathe. You're not experiencing insomnia. You're experiencing an invitation to connect with something far greater than yourself, and your soul knows it even when your mind doesn't understand it yet. Number 2, spiritual awareness and life transformation. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You've spent decades being practical, focusing on real problems and real solutions. The idea of cosmic energy might sound too mystical for someone who's lived through mortgage payments and raising children and all the concrete challenges of life. But let me share something with you that connects directly to the life you've already lived. Remember those moments in your life when you felt most at peace. Maybe it was holding your newborn child, or sitting in a quiet church, or watching a sunrise over a lake. That sense of everything being exactly as it should be, that feeling of being connected to something larger than your daily worries. That's the same feeling that's waiting for you in those early morning hours, but magnified. When you embrace this time instead of fighting it, something remarkable begins to happen. The meditation and quiet reflection that naturally comes in these moments starts to change how you experience your entire day. People who have learned to honor this time report a kind of inner calm they haven't felt in years. Decision-making becomes clearer, relationships improve, even physical health seems to strengthen. This isn't about abandoning the practical wisdom you've gained over the decades. It's about adding a spiritual dimension that makes everything else work better. Our grandparents and great-grandparents knew this. It's woven into the fabric of every spiritual tradition. This understanding that certain times of day are sacred, that the universe operates on rhythms we can learn to dance with instead of fighting against. Think of it as reclaiming a part of yourself that got buried under years of alarm clocks and schedules and other people's expectations. This is your time to remember who you are beneath all the roles you've played. And when you do, that inner knowing starts to radiate outward into every aspect of your life. Number 3, spiritual reason behind waking up. Here's something that might surprise you. That urgent need to use the bathroom that wakes you up at 4 a.m. isn't just your body's plumbing system acting up. It's actually the universe using the most natural, undeniable signal it can send to get your attention. Think about it: when nature calls, you can't ignore it. You have to get up. You have to move. And in that movement, in that moment of being fully awake, something deeper is trying to reach you. Your body has become a messenger service for your soul. The physical urge is real, absolutely, but it's also serving a higher purpose. It's like the universe has learned to work with your body's natural rhythms to create a wake-up call that you simply cannot sleep through. Because deep down, your spirit knows that missing these appointments would mean missing something precious. This is especially powerful for people your age because you've accumulated decades of life experience, both good and challenging. Every act of kindness you've shown, every time you've chosen love over anger, every moment you've been there for someone else, all of that creates what spiritual traditions call good karma. And when that positive energy reaches a certain level, it starts to pull you toward experiences that can help you grow even more. So when you wake up at 3:47 a.m. with that undeniable urge, your soul is actually celebrating. It's saying, you've done well, you've earned this opportunity to connect with something sacred. Your consciousness has reached a level where direct communication with the divine becomes possible. The cosmic forces that guide our universe can now reach you more clearly because you've prepared yourself, through all your years of living and learning and caring, to receive their messages. This isn't happening to everyone. It's happening to you because you're ready for it. Your life has brought you to this point where the spiritual realm recognizes you as someone worth speaking to directly. Number 4, connecting with ancestors. There's something profoundly moving that happens in those quiet pre-dawn hours, something that connects you to everyone who came before you. As you sit there in the stillness, perhaps feeling a bit lonely or wondering about the meaning of it all, you're actually never alone. The people who loved you and shaped you, even those who passed away years ago, they find their way back to you during this sacred time. I want you to imagine your grandmother or your father or that dear friend who meant so much to you. In the rush of daylight hours, with all the noise and distractions of modern life, their presence gets drowned out. But in the deep quiet of 4 a.m., when the world is still and your heart is open, they can reach across that invisible boundary and touch your life again. You might feel it as a sudden warmth, or a memory that comes flooding back with unusual clarity. Sometimes it's a sense that someone is watching over you with tremendous love. Other times, it might be a gentle warning, like an intuition to be careful about something, or a feeling that you should reach out to a family member you haven't spoken to in a while. This isn't your imagination playing tricks on you. Our ancestors, especially those who lived with deeper spiritual awareness, understood that love doesn't end with death. The bonds that connected you in life continue to exist, and certain times and conditions make it easier for those connections to be felt. The early morning hours, when your defenses are down and your heart is quiet, create the perfect conditions for this kind of sacred communication. They're not trying to frighten you or disturb your peace. Quite the opposite. They're offering you their continued love and guidance, sharing the wisdom they've gained from their journey beyond this world. When you wake up during these hours, consider spending just a few moments acknowledging their presence, maybe even speaking to them quietly in your heart. You might be amazed at the comfort and guidance that flows back to you. Number 5. The call of the chosen deity. Throughout your life, there's been a relationship that perhaps you've let slip into the background. Maybe it started in childhood, with prayers learned at your mother's knee, or faith discovered in moments of crisis when you had nowhere else to turn. Over the years, as life demanded your attention in so many directions, that connection might have become something you only remembered on Sundays, or during holidays, or in moments of desperation. But here's the beautiful truth about divine love. It never stops reaching for you. When you find yourself wide awake in those pre-dawn hours, what you're experiencing is actually your chosen deity, your personal understanding of the divine, calling you back home. It's not a judgment about how long you've been away or how infrequently you've prayed. It's an invitation, offered with infinite patience and love. Think of it like this. Imagine someone who has loved you unconditionally your entire life, someone who has watched you struggle and celebrate, make mistakes and learn from them, someone who has never once stopped believing in your goodness. Now imagine that person gently shaking you awake in the middle of the night, not to scold you, but to offer you something precious in the quiet hours when you can really receive it. This is what's happening when you wake up at 4 a.m. The divine presence that has been with you all along is saying, I have something to give you, something that will help you, something that will bring you peace. But it can only be received in stillness, in quiet, in those sacred moments when the world stops demanding your attention. The prayers you offer during this time carry a different weight than prayers said in the rush of daily life. They're heard more clearly, answered more directly. It's as if the phone lines to heaven are completely clear during these hours. No busy signals, no interference, just a direct connection between your heart and the source of all love. Your chosen deity has been waiting for this moment when you're fully present and ready to receive what has always been offered to you. Number 6. Connection between body and universe. Your body has been trying to tell you something important, and it's been using a language that ancient healing systems understood perfectly. Between 2 and 6 in the morning, according to traditional medicine that's thousands of years old, your body is governed by what's called Vata, the principle of movement and elimination. This isn't just old folklore. It's sophisticated body wisdom that modern science is finally beginning to understand. Think about what's happening inside you during these hours. Your body is naturally trying to release and cleanse, to let go of what it no longer needs. That urge to urinate isn't just your bladder filling up. It's your entire system responding to cosmic rhythms that pulse through the universe every single day. Your internal clock, the one that's been keeping time in your cells for decades, is perfectly synchronized with forces much larger than yourself. This is why fighting against these early wake-up calls feels so exhausting and frustrating. You're essentially trying to swim upstream against the current of the universe. Your body knows something your mind might have forgotten, that you're not separate from the cosmic rhythms that govern the tides, the seasons, the movement of planets. You're woven into that same magnificent pattern. When you honor this natural rhythm instead of resisting it, something beautiful happens. Your body begins to work with these cosmic forces instead of against them. The elimination that happens during these hours isn't just physical, it's emotional and spiritual too. You're releasing old fears, outdated worries, stagnant energy that's been weighing you down without you even realizing it. Your ancestors lived much closer to these natural rhythms. They worked with the cycles of the moon, planted by the seasons, understood that different times of day held different kinds of power. That wisdom is still encoded in your cells, still trying to guide you toward a way of living that flows with the universe rather than fighting against it. When you wake up at 3:30 a.m., your body is remembering something your great-grandmother knew instinctively. Number 7. How to make the most of this time. So here you are, awake again at 4 a.m. Instead of lying there feeling frustrated or checking your phone or immediately trying to go back to sleep, Let me walk you through a different way of meeting this moment. This is your chance to turn what feels like an interruption into the most meaningful part of your entire day. First, take a deep breath and thank your body for this gift of wakefulness. I know it might not feel like a gift right now, but try shifting your perspective just for these few minutes. Get up gently, take care of your physical needs, but do it with awareness. As you wash your hands and splash cool water on your face, imagine you're preparing for something sacred because you are. Find a comfortable place to sit, somewhere you can be quiet without disturbing others. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just a chair by the window or even sitting up in your bed with a pillow behind your back. Close your eyes and begin to notice your breathing, not trying to change it, just becoming aware of the life force flowing in and out of your body. Now here's where the magic begins. With each inhale, imagine you're drawing in the pure energy that fills these early morning hours. With each exhale, let go of any tension, worry, or irritation you might be carrying. Don't force anything. Just allow your breath to become a bridge between your small concerns and the vast peace that surrounds you. This is the perfect time to remember the people you love, both living and passed on. Send them your love silently. This is when you can speak to your understanding of the divine, whether you call it God or the universe, or simply the source of all good things. Ask for guidance, offer gratitude, request forgiveness for your mistakes. In these quiet moments, such communications travel straight to their destination with no interference. Start with just 5 or 10 minutes. Don't worry if your mind wanders or if you feel sleepy. This is a practice that grows stronger over time. Like a muscle, you're gently exercising back into strength. Number 8, effects and benefits of practice. Let me paint you a picture of what happens when you stop fighting these early morning awakenings and start embracing them as the gift they truly are. The changes don't happen overnight, but they do happen, and when they do, they're unmistakable. People who have been practicing this sacred early morning time for several months start to notice something different in their mirror. There's a softness around their eyes, a kind of inner light that seems to glow from within. It's not makeup or good lighting. It's the radiance that comes from a soul that's being regularly nourished. Friends and family members start commenting that you seem more peaceful, more centered, more like the person they remember you being in your best moments. But the changes go much deeper than appearance. Decision-making becomes clearer because you're accessing a different kind of wisdom during those quiet hours. Problems that seemed overwhelming begin to resolve themselves or reveal solutions you couldn't see before. It's as if those early morning conversations with the divine give you access to a broader perspective on everything in your life. Anxiety starts to loosen its grip because you found a daily practice of connecting with something larger than your worries. Sleep actually improves because you're no longer fighting against your natural rhythms. Relationships deepen because you're approaching others from a place of inner fullness rather than need or frustration. Perhaps most remarkably, many people report developing what can only be called intuitive foresight. They find themselves knowing things before they happen, sensing when to call someone who needs them, avoiding problems through subtle inner guidance they've learned to trust. This isn't supernatural. It's what happens when you align yourself with the natural intelligence that flows through the universe. You've been chosen for this experience because your life has prepared you to receive it. Every challenge you've overcome, every act of love you've given, every moment of growth you've achieved has brought you to this point where the universe recognizes you as someone ready for deeper connection. This isn't a sleep disorder. It's a spiritual invitation to discover just how extraordinary your ordinary life can become. Tonight, when you find yourself awake in those quiet hours before dawn, I hope you'll remember what we've shared together. Those moments that you once saw as interruptions are actually invitations. Your body isn't failing you. Your spirit is calling you toward something beautiful and sacred. You've lived long enough to know that life's most precious gifts often come in unexpected packages. This early morning awakening is one of those gifts. It's the universe recognizing that you've earned the right to connect with something deeper, something that goes beyond the daily concerns that once consumed all your energy. Think about the peace that's waiting for you in those pre-dawn moments, the clarity that comes when you stop fighting and start listening, the connection with loved ones who have passed on, and with the divine presence that has been with you all along. These aren't just spiritual concepts, they're real experiences that can transform how you feel about your life right now. You have the wisdom to embrace this calling. You have the strength to turn what felt like a problem into the most meaningful part of your day. And you have the time, perhaps for the first time in decades, to truly nurture your soul. Which of these truths spoke most directly to your heart today? Was it learning that your ancestors are still reaching out to you with love? Or discovering that your body is perfectly synchronized with cosmic rhythms? Maybe it was simply realizing that you're not alone in those quiet hours. If this message touched something deep within you, I'd be honored if you'd share it with someone else who might need to hear it. Leave a comment about your own early morning experiences. Your story might be exactly what another soul needs to read. Remember, every time you wake up at 3 a.m., you're being reminded that you're special. You're being called to something greater. Answer that call with gratitude and watch how your life begins to shimmer with new meaning. Until we meet again, may your early mornings be filled with divine connection and perfect peace.